Hello friends and enemies, Toxy here, and today I would like to talk to you about Rush Duel. Now for those not in the know, Rush Duel is, for as long as it's been a thing, an OCG specific format of Yu-Gi-Oh! That runs a little bit faster than Yu-Gi-Oh! And plays a little bit differently than normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Does. Kind of like what Speed Duel was supposed to be, and then wasn't. Now I'm not knocking on Speed Duel. I think Speed Duel is fine. I just think Rush Duel is better. And that makes me think they should bring Rush Duel to the TCG. And I know that a couple of people, I wanted to say a lot of people, but I'm not sure, do not feel the same way that I do. So here's my video essay on Rush Duel. Now for the most part, since Rush Duels haven't come out in the TCG yet, I have been buying OCG Rush Duel cards because I think they look cool. Look at these! These look really cool. I like the new format of the card. But because I cannot read Japanese, I wasn't really able to know how to play it full on until the Rush Duel Dawn of the Battle Royale game came out for Switch back in December. Now when I had started this up, I had expected bad music because everyone said that the music for the Rush Duel game was bad, but when I started it up, it just kind of reminded me of the Beyblade PS1 music. Now having gotten to play the Rush Duel Battle of the Dawn Battle, having gotten to play the game, I have had so much fun getting to learn this new Yu-Gi-Oh! Format. I actually really like it. It doesn't feel like regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Honestly, the way that the game plays feels kind of like a different game. And I think that's why we need Rush Duel in the TCG. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, especially those in the competitive and tournament scenes, really need to take a step away from Yu-Gi-Oh! And play something that is still Yu-Gi-Oh! But doesn't feel exactly the same as the Yu-Gi-Oh! They've been playing for years. I have watched a lot of people get sick of Yu-Gi-Oh! Over the past few years, and I think a lot of it comes down to just the way that the game works. They're kind of just sick of doing the same thing over and over and over again when they build their decks. And I feel like incorporating Rush Duel that has entirely new mechanics to it would be a good idea to help switch it up. In Rush Duel, you can normal summon as many times as you want. You draw your hand back up to 5 cards at the beginning of each of your turns, and it's got maximum summoning. One of the coolest summoning mechanics I've ever seen. Now, cool might be an overstatement, but I really like maximum summoning. And there aren't that many maximum summon monsters as of yet. But getting to summon your maximum monster feels really nice when you actually get to do it. It uses up all of the zones that you have, but it gives you one giant monster that does everything you could want it to do. And I think a balance like that is pretty rad and kind of needed in the current Yu-Gi-Oh! Era. Now, back in January of 2021, there was a leak that there'd be an interview sometime soon with a Konami producer. This leak stated that Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel and Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s would be coming to the TCG and English within a few months. So far, nothing about this leak has been proven, which is kind of sad. Partly because the leak said that the interview would be shown sometime in February. Also partly because it just kind of feels like Konami's snuffing its entire English audience out of this new way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And these new series of Yu-Gi-Oh! That it just seems to be putting out. Back to the point, why do I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Players need something new like this? I could be wrong, but based on what I'm seeing around the internet, it seems like a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are just kind of sick of the same runaround of 3 Ash Blossoms, Nibiru, Mystic Mine, Skill Drain, and other cards such as that. These cards have essentially become the basis of a deck, if you really want to play. Don't get me started on Forbidden Droplet. And I feel like having a format where you can have the possibility of an ever-shifting tier that doesn't always stay the same would be really good for Yu-Gi-Oh! And its players. A lot of people have akined Rush Duel to Speed Duel, saying that it'll sell just as bad as Speed Duel does. And personally speaking, I don't think that's true. While I do enjoy Speed Duel and I think it is good to teach new players in the Speed Duel format, I feel like Rush Duel would be a lot easier for new players to learn. At its current state, Rush Duel has the same feel as the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters series cards had. They're very simple, they're very basic, they're not crazy strong except for maximum monsters, but we'll get to that in a second. And so being able to build your deck around this small pool of cards that you know is going to be pretty much similar to your opponent's pool of cards is a good feeling when it comes to a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Format. Maximum monsters act as a perfect boss monster. It's one monster that your opponent can get out that's crazy strong. And your opponent might have other monsters that build up to the maximum monster, but the maximum monster is the big bad guy you want to look out for. And it's not like maximum monsters are unbeatable by any means. You can beat them absolutely. It's just that they are the monster that you don't want your opponent to get out. And I feel like nowadays in modern day advanced TCG, it feels like there's just a bunch of monsters that you just don't want to see from your opponent's side. Again, I could be wrong with this assumption, but it's just based on what I've been seeing around the internet sphere of Yu-Gi-Oh! The sad thing is it doesn't seem like a lot of people are really giving Rush Duel a chance. They just kind of wave it off as a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Product. And it doesn't feel that great. Personally speaking, I would love to see Rush Duel and Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s come to the TCG, come to English, so that we can try it out at least. I think it'd be fun, and I think it'd be a good experience for a lot of people that want to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! But find all of the summoning mechanics that have been introduced and all of the deck tiers and all of the crazy cards that most people use kind of daunting. I know people that have gotten into Yu-Gi-Oh! Recently because of Master Duel, and they've been doing fine, but for the most part they still get confused about a lot of ways that cards interact with each other. And I feel like introducing them to Yu-Gi-Oh! With a format like Rush Duel would give them a lot to kind of ease themselves into. It would be a kind of different feeling game, but it would still give them the knowledge they need to play regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And I would encourage any new Yu-Gi-Oh! Players that find the Master Duel game kind of just big and overbearing for them to, if they have the money and if they're interested, to buy the Rush Duel Dawn of the Battle Royale game for Switch. It's $30, it's not super short, not super long, it's a good amount of Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing, you get a good amount of cards. We don't have the DLC update like they do in Japan, but hopefully we get that someday soon. But I feel like it is a good entry point into Yu-Gi-Oh! And yes, it does feel different from regular Yu-Gi-Oh! But it does also give you the skills to play regular Yu-Gi-Oh! If you would like to. Again, that is just my personal belief. I'm not saying that anything that I'm saying is objective in any way. This is just how I feel about Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel. To put a little cap on this video, I think that having a card game evolve and having people work with that evolution rather than push against it is more beneficial for both the card game and the players than it seems to the players. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to say that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are afraid of change, but it does definitely seem like they don't want change to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. And with that, those are my quick little thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel. Hopefully we hear something from Konami sometime soon in the future, since the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel series is already being created and put out. It would be cool to see a new version of Yu-Gi-Oh! I would really like to see it. With that being said, that's enough of my rambling. Thank you for watching if you did. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, drink your water.